Power in knowing who you are.
Okay. There is definitely power in knowing who you are. Um, yeah, I think look, we doing a whole lot. Sorry, y'all.
Yes, we are. Sorry. Hello, everyone.
Hey
Hey,
Tamika.
Miko.
We sharing. We like we doing what we want y'all to do. We want you all to like, tag, and share. So anyway,
Yes.
so let's get to it. So
Yes.
we're here today and we are talking about what we're talking about power and knowing who you are. And so, Renee, do you want to start off and like say what that means to you? Like, what does that mean?
No, you're supposed to start off with how we got this topic.
Oh, okay. So, all right. So the way that we actually, that we came up with this topic is that I was on a call, and it was really the call. It was talking about like, finding who you are. And I was like, well, I couldn't really, I was listening. It was some great dialogue or whatever, but when it came to me and they were asking, how I felt about it, and I didn't want to feel like arrogant or anything like that, but I couldn't relate to it too deeply because I feel like I know who I am, right? And it took a lot, and I'm gonna be honest, like it took a lot for me to actually say that because we're living in a culture where it's been put out there to say, oh, I'm finding myself, or do you know who you are? And it starts, and when you're hearing it over and over and over again, you start to wonder, well, do I know who I am?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and when I was really honest and I thought about it, I'm like, I I know who I am, and I'm good with that.
Yeah.
And trust me, in no means am I saying that I'm perfect, my life is perfect or anything. And I did share that with the other ladies. And I was like, I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I said, but I know who I am. I know where I came from. But to me, knowing who I am today could change who I am tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it was when I stopped trying to fit myself, right? We try to fit a circle into a square. If you're a circle, be a circle and be okay with that. Stop trying to fit your circle into a square. That's not who you are. And once we can become comfortable with who we are, I think then we can go and we can grow from that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sabrina said exactly.
Yeah.
I agree. For me, it took some time to really like get in my lane and find out like who am I.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, I had to realize and think about who I wasn't
Right. Okay.
because I had so many things that was said to me, like you're not good
Mm-hmm.
enough, all these different things. And I began to take those words and they began to form who I was.
Amen.
And lots of times, a lot of people, if they're, if we will be honest, we've had a lot of things said to us,
Mm-hmm.
and thoughts are powerful.
Right.
So it took some time to peel off those layers and realize that's not who you are. That's not who you are. Like, I mean, I had layers to pull off. I did.
Indeed. Indeed. And I can totally, now that I can relate with, because yes, we've been through some things.
Yes.
So not only are we fighting with the things that have been said to us by other people, but we're also fighting with what's inside. And because of the things that we may have been through or we did or things that were done to us, we're feeling, oh, I'm not good enough. right?
Yeah.
And so that is where, no, we're gonna have to peel this off because I am good enough. Right? I
Yeah.
am enough.
That's
You know,
right. Yeah.
the things that I need, they're inside of me. Now, that seed may need to be watered, nourished, pruned, which means there's going to be, in pruning is doesn't feel good. That's when you're plucking out the dead stuff, right? And cutting back the things that are starting to get brown and nasty. And so, it doesn't always feel good, but those are the time, we're going through those things to help us to find who we are. And I'm not even going to say to find who we are, but it could be to find who we are, but it also could be to enhance who we are,
Yeah.
right? For us to really bring out the greatness that's already in us. Um, so often, like we're taught uh, to to be like, we have to be humble,
Hmm.
right? Excuse me. Humble doesn't mean that you have to downplay who you are. And I think we get that wrong. Just the
Yeah.
same way that we get wrong, wives, be submissive to your husband. That's not a bad thing, right? If he's going the right way.
Yeah.
And even if he's not, there's still, if you're his wife, there's still, some part of it where you have to be respectful. But anyway, another subject. I think that a lot of times we get humility wrong. And when we say, oh, you have to be humble, we can be confident. There's a line between,
Confident and cocky.
exactly,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So, we have to stop downplaying who we are. We're fabulous. What you mean? Ha!
I will never forget years ago, um I was during an interview,
Mhm.
and the guy was like, "Tell me about yourself." And believe, like I said, years ago, for anybody like, "What is wrong with you?" And I was
Right.
like, "I really don't like to talk about myself." He said, "Well, let me tell you something. You have to sell yourself, which means you
Right.
have to talk about yourself."
Right.
And I was like, "Why did you say that out loud?" It was, you have them bubbles in your head, and the
Uh-huh.
bubble actually just came out my mouth.
Right.
So I had to like really, like, you do have to sell yourself when you're doing an interview and stuff.
Mhm.
But I had always had in my mind, like you said, that you have to be humble, not
Right.
realizing that we should remain humble at all times. But there are times like that in an interview where you really do have to talk about yourself.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Even outside of a interview, Renee, it's okay to talk about your accomplishments and not be ashamed of them.
Yeah, because
It's
I keep my
okay.
stuff to myself.
Yeah, and yeah, I know. Because a lot of times I'll be like, "Wait, you did what?" I'm like,
I,
I would like to support. I would like to be there. I want to know why I got to find out on social media. But anyway, we're not here to fuss at Renee.
I know. I know.
But and it's okay for
Yeah.
you to really be excited about your accomplishments.
Yeah.
And that's still, and I'll be honest, that's still something to that I struggle with, because I never want to be the one that's, like, I did this and I did that. Now, we all know that we can't do anything without Christ.
Yes.
I fully acknowledge that. He gives us, he gives us the courage. He gives us the smarts. He gives us the brains. He gives us so we should be able to, and we should be excited about our accomplishments, because when we're doing things for the kingdom, all of that goes together. All of it goes together.
So hold on. I'm going to ask a question.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you a question and ask people watching a question.
Okay.
How do you introduce yourself?
Depending on what room I'm in.
And I'm asking this question because it's a two-part question. Now I
Mhm.
got another part to this question. So
Okay.
how do you introduce yourself, one? And two, how do you separate your roles or roles and titles from who you are?
Okay. So how do you introduce yourself? It depends on the audience. Because I mean, I might have to go in there and be like, if it's something that's work related, hello, I'm Angela Curve Chaku. I am the executive administrator for the CEO of blah blah blah, right?
Yeah.
Or I could be, I am Miss Angie C. I'm the co-host of Let's Talk About It with Andrew Renee. I'm a coach. So it really depends on the audience.
So are you able to um separate yourself from your roles or your titles like mom, wife, daughter, granddaughter? Are you able to separate yourself from those roles when you're introducing yourself, or do you say, I am a mother, da 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 da?
Depending on the audience. Because and sometimes, so I think that, to me, I think that's twofold, right? Because now I am mom. I am a grandmother. I am a daughter. And those experiences have helped me to be who I am today.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to take away from that, right? Because all of those, I am a friend. Me being a friend has helped me, with those experiences have helped me to be who I am today. Now, it was, who was that? It was what's his name? Keon something.
Henderson
Henderson.
or Henson, something, the pastor.
Right, him. So he was doing, it was him, and they were doing like they have like a group where they get together and they do these talks or whatever. And so they were talking about, I guess, something similar about, their different, how do they separate the roles?
Mm-hmm.
In those times, you have to, when I'm dad, I'm the best dad that I can be. When I'm husband, I'm the best husband that I can be. So you're wearing different hats. So when you're in that particular space, then you give it your all.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I don't think that you should ever take it away, because like I said, those experiences of me being that particular role has
Mm-hmm.
helped me to be the woman that I am today. Because honestly, like, if I didn't have children, I probably wouldn't be sitting here today,
Yeah.
because it helped me to grow up, it helped me to mature. It took me until I was around other women winning and watching how they present themselves helped me get it together.
Yeah. That does
Mhm.
help and make a difference, makes a world of difference.
Yeah.
Um, I would say it took me time to understand that
Mm.
because it wasn't until like when my children moved out that I realized a mom was a role. It's a role, but I'm Renee. Like, who is Renee as a person?
Right.
And I had to take off mom. I had to take off you're an evangelist, take off business owner. Like, who is Renee? What does Renee like to do? What is Renee like? And
Right.
I didn't know because I was so used to being mom, being
Mhm.
this, being that. So I kind of now I introduce myself, I'm Renee, but
Right.
I happen to be this,
Right.
this. So I learned how to separate the two. And that lots of times I know for me, I went through like an identity crisis because I didn't know who I was outside of being a football mom or this mom, because
Mhm.
that's who I just,
That's what you did.
that's all I did.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so, speaking of that, right? I do believe that it's very, very, very important that even as we get these roles, that we do not forget about ourselves,
Yeah.
because we do that.
Yes, we
You
do.
know, you become mom and you're all in. Your football practice, cheerleading practice, dance practice, basketball,
Yes.
school, plays,
Where?
whatever, friend's house, sleepover. I mean, it's all about them,
Yes.
so you forget to take care of you.
Yeah.
Sometimes, when they're at a certain age, sometimes you're like, oh, I forgot to comb my hair. Or, you know what I'm saying? You throw getting nails and uh pedicures out the door,
Yeah.
because let alone either you don't have the time, even if you do have the money, you just don't have the time. You can't sleep, you're doing all of this. So, but it's important to have the balance.
That
And
is so key.
yeah, you have to have the balance. But we get so we start to feel guilty
Hmm.
for wanting to do for ourselves and saying, you know what, I'm gonna need five.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need five. Y'all go on there and go in your room, watch
Yeah.
TV, don't
Yeah.
watch TV, whatever, but this is mommy time.
Yeah.
And or this is Angela time. Right? I need to take a knee, you know. But we tend to feel guilty for that. I don't know, for a long time I felt guilty buying myself anything and
Me
not having
too.
something for my children.
Yeah. Me too. Me
Yeah.
too. But you, like you said, you live, you learn, you grow,
Mhm.
and you know who you are. And I think the power in knowing who you are also is before you get in any type of relationship.
Mhm.
And we look, when we say relationship, we look at I'm dating somebody. Sometimes it's a friendship, because
Yes.
a lot of people get lost in friendships because
Mhm.
you're so involved and consumed with what your friend is doing. Let me support you. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with supporting
Right.
anybody. That's what you
Mhm.
do when you're friends, but
Right.
you don't lose who you are.
Indeed.
So that's why it's important to understand who you are when you start connecting with these relationships, personal relationships, dating relationship. It's important.
Mhm. It is very important, and that's where that balance comes in.
Yes.
Because one all the way to the left, all the way to the right is not fit. It's not right. You have to have in be in the middle, because you have some women that go out, and men too. They go out here and they're like, oh, I'm finding me, I'm doing me, I've been taking care of these kids for all this time. Your kid is 5 and they still need you, okay? So yeah, I'm doing me, I've been doing. It's not always just about you, right? It's not always about you. Yes, people take stuff way too far. Self-care, yes, definitely needed. But all the time, 7 days a week, 24/7, you
Something
think that it's
wrong.
I'm just doing me. I ain't
Yeah.
thinking about nobody else. It's my time to shine. That's my song. And that's my mantra. Yes, it's my time to shine. However, me shining doesn't mean that I try to put your light out. We
Yeah.
all shine at the same time, or all the way to the other side where you're
Yeah.
so engrossed in taking care of everybody else and doing things for everybody else and not taking care of you. Go take a nap. How about that? Let's start
Yeah.
there. let's just
Yeah.
let's just start there.
It, it is just, it's so true. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
And while you was talking, I was thinking about a show that my little sister, I had to stop watching.
Uh-oh.
For My Man.
Oh, I don't know about that. I haven't
Yes,
seen
it's called For My Man.
it. Okay.
And it's women who get connected in these relationships and they don't know who they are. And the men are so controlling that they have these women killing people. Yeah. I Yeah, one day I was watching with Sharita, and the girl was dating one guy. She met another guy. He got mad, and he had so much control over her. He had her in the back seat, went to Home Depot, got a shovel, some gloves, and some duct tape. And she walking around the store with him. If you mad at me and we go to Home Depot and I see you with a shovel, some duct tape, and some gloves, guess what? I ain't getting in the car with you. She got in the car with him. He was like, "Oh, I'm putting this stuff in the trunk. We gonna go to the lake."
Wait, what? We going to
Yes,
the lake?
went to the lake. She was like, "Okay," she's like, because they have somebody playing a person. The girl in the backseat looking out the window, him and a friend, and I'm like, So he was like, come on, let's go for a walk. The friend got the shovel and he has so much control over her. Yeah. So they dug the ditch, put her in the ditch, and buried her alive. Yeah. For my man. That show. Yes. So
Mm.
for somebody to have that much control, and he just kept telling her, you know, you're not strong enough to be out there by yourself. She didn't know who she was.
See, yeah, that's that mind thing. Allowing people to to speak these things into your life and you're believing it. And yes, you're absolutely right. We have to be, strong in the head to know, I I I eat the meat, spit out the bone. That's it. I'm not receiving that. You can think that all you want to, but no. And that is one thing that I can say, like when people do the like their daily affirmations or things like that, they're speaking life.
Yeah.
They're speaking positive things, because the more that we say it, the more that we hear it,
Yeah.
you know it will help us to say, nope, I'm not
Yeah.
accepting that. Yes, I am better than that. And in those relationships, whether it is a boyfriend, a mom, a sister, uncle, whoever
Yeah.
is trying to bring you down and constantly speaking these negative things to you,
Yeah.
you have to say, and I know it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
Definitely easier
It
said than
is. It is because we get caught up. Our feelings get involved. We get caught up.
yeah.
But we have to be strong enough to know, like I said, start to recognize in order for me to know who I am, I have to know who I'm not.
Yeah,
And yeah,
yeah, you do have to, you definitely have to know who you're not. But even more important than that, let's start here. Know whose you are.
yeah,
Are you a child of God? Because if
yeah,
I'm a child of God and it says in the Bible, I didn't write it, it says in the Bible that I'm made in his image. Come on. Then I mean, I ain't no junk.
and
He's
that's
not junk.
and also, it talks about us being a royal priesthood. But when you
Mm-hmm.
think about the royals, you never see them walking like this. They have their head up high.
All
They
the
know
time.
who they are. Yes, they know who they are. You always
Mm-hmm.
see them presenting themselves in a manner that you're like, their presence. It's like you have to pay attention.
Right.
And that's what
Right.
we have to do. We have to walk around because if they people see you like this all the time with your head down,
Mm-hmm.
people are going to start talking to you in a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to degrade you in a certain way. Why? Because they feel like you're walking with your head down. And believe me, I'm not saying be prideful. I'm not saying you have to make yourself known. But when you know who you are, you're just comfortable.
Right.
And it's just certain places and situations that this does not fit me. So
Right.
therefore, I'm going to exit. And guess what? I'm okay with that.
And also in that, there's certain things that you already know you're not doing around certain people because of who they are.
Yeah.
We teach people how to treat us
Yes, we do.
by our actions and
That's
by
right.
our reactions.
That's right.
They know. They know. There are certain people that already know they can't talk to me that way because I'm not accepting it. And that doesn't mean that I'm gonna fly off the handle and I'm gonna do this, and no, I don't have to do that.
No.
I just I'm not accepting it. So they know better than to talk to me in a certain manner.
I just get my sisters. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Listen,
I'm joking. But they
listen.
but they do though. They be one is a bookworm and the other no, yeah, one is a bookworm. The other one, uh that's a secret weapon. She be ready to fight. Two of them be ready to fight in a minute.
Listen.
And the other one just real, she just go get the other sister too.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Yeah, literally, literally. Literally. But
No.
no, we don't have to do that no more. We don't have to do that. And knowing who you are too, you don't have to convince nobody to
No.
like you. You don't have to convince anybody to accept you.
No.
Um, I'm okay with that, and I have no problem at all saying bye.
Right.
Any situation, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, you might cry for 5 seconds. I
Yeah,
might be
I
in my feel
will.
might be in my feelings for a few minutes, be like, man, but after a while, it's too much energy. Like I have so much other stuff to do. I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
Go where you are appreciated. Go where, go where you're loved. Go, you don't have to be around people and places and spaces
yeah,
that are not going to uh feed you. And when I say feed you, not physically feed you, but that's good too.
yeah,
But that where you're going to be in an environment where you're going to grow. Because
yes,
even with knowing who you are, there's still always opportunity for growth.
yes, it is.
There's always opportunity for growth.
Yeah,
And we never want to get to a place where we're stagnant. I was reading something. What was that? I wrote a few things down where it was saying it says that I'm content with what I have. I'm content with who I am. Right?
yeah,
It says I'm content with what I have, but I also to take that into I'm content to who I am. There's a difference between being content and complacent.
yeah. It is. It's a big difference. Yes, it is.
Big difference.
Yes, it
Right?
is.
You're
Yes.
content to say, you know what, this is good, this is great,
Yeah.
right? But if it could be better,
Yes.
but I'm not going to downplay it. And right now might not be the time for it to, for me to move to the next one. It's good.
Yeah.
I mean, but being complacent is this is it. That's it.
Yeah.
It's never it. If you
Yeah.
if God has blessed you with another day,
Hmm.
it's because you have another opportunity to do something in the world. It doesn't stop until and even then sometimes it doesn't even stop after you've taken your last breath, because you've left such an impact on those that that you poured into and that you were connected with, that your
Hmm.
legacy continues to live on, and not in a negative way. When people
Yeah.
think about you, are they smiling?
Oh,
Are they
they like, dang, I'm glad she gone.
right? Exactly. They'd be like, whoo, child.
You are funny. You said something though when you said being content and complacent.
Mhm.
That's another thing when knowing who you are. We know that being in a place sometimes we're comfortable.
Mhm.
It's like I don't have to worry about anything. I already know what to expect. My expectation is here. And
Mhm.
when we're complacent, sometimes we miss out on opportunities to
Yeah.
grow. Like you
Mm.
said, we
Mhm.
miss out on opportunities that could help us flourish as people. So
Mhm.
we have to be very careful and very prayerful about being content in certain situations or certain environments, certain places
Right.
where you're not growing or evolving as a person because you are
Right.
content.
Right. Yeah. It should always be some type of growth there. you
Yeah.
know and growth doesn't mean that, okay, I'm on a stage in front of a gajillion people, or I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Sometimes it's the slow and steady growth, right? We all don't grow at the same pace, and we're not going to all grow in the same area at the same time. We get so busy looking at what everybody else has that we're not taking care of what it is that we do have. We're not focusing on what I have inside of me, and let me nourish this, right? Other people, they should other people can be an encouragement to you.
Yeah.
They should never be a competition to you.
I that right there is I've learned I've learned I've learned.
We learning.
Oh my gosh, I Yes, this is a season of learning for me, um how to deal with
Amen.
situations where people are competing, or you know, because it irks my nerve, but it's like, and I can feel God like growing me out of that.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you bothered by that? It's not you.
Right. Right.
Focus on you. It's a distraction. Focus on you. And is so important.
Yeah, it is. But that's the job of the enemy. He comes
Yes.
to kill, steal, and destroy. And
Yes.
all in that is that's distraction. Because
Yes.
then if he can get you focused, if he can get you to focus on something else, then that's the way that you're going to head in. I remember when I was doing my motorcycle classes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the instructor, he said, you're looking at where you want to go,
Mm.
because when you focus on where you want to go,
Yeah.
that's the way that the bike is going to go. That's
Yes.
the way that you're going to go. You can't, because if you go and you're riding and you're focused on that car, you're going to crash into the car. No, focus on the
Yes.
turn. Focus on where
Yes.
you're going. And the enemy doesn't want you to do that. If he can get you to focus on
Mhm.
somebody else, what is Renee doing? And not in a healthy manner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it's something to say, oh well, Renee, what is it that what is it that you're doing? Encouraging her, encouraging myself. But if I'm like, oh, let me see what she's doing so I can do it too. That again, that's you, a circle trying to fit into a square.
Yes, it
I'm a
is.
circle, you a square. We all shapes, but we're different. And that's
Yeah.
okay. That's
It
okay.
is. It really is okay, because it's like your lane and your purpose and what God has for you to do. It's not like anybody else. And I'm not saying you have to go out here and try to, I got to do just totally different. No, you don't. But
Right.
even for me with teaching, I had to get in the rhythm and find my own lane.
Mm-hmm.
I believe me, we teach the word. I teach the word, but
Right.
my way of learning is I need to be able to apply it to something today. And
Right.
I always find something to do that. And it took me a while to understand, like, this is what God has given you. This is how God has, given you the ability to teach. And some may not like it. Some may be like, I love it. But guess what? It doesn't matter. This is your lane, and this is how God has given it to you to teach. And I'm saying that to say that for anybody that may have a business or a ministry or any a vision, and you're like, I don't know how to do it because I'm not sure how people will receive it, because the directions and blueprint that you gave me, God, is not what I see Angie doing. So I
Right.
don't know. Guess what? If God gave it to you the way that He's given it to you and is lining up with His word, guess what?
Amen.
He's going to confirm it. Not
Yeah.
man, but God is going to confirm it.
Amen.
And we have to
Amen.
begin to ask God to confirm, not man, because
Mm.
man may like you today and tomorrow they be like, I won't have nothing to do with you.
Child,
So
honey,
it's not about man confirming you, it's about God. And
that's
that's where we
right.
have to know, like, God, you're the source. Am
Right.
I lining up with what it is that you have for me to do?
Right. Amen. That's indeed. That's very, very true. That's so true. And we have to be comfortable in our uniqueness. We're all
Yeah.
unique in a different way. God made us unique. We're it in his word it says we're peculiar people, right? And peculiar people within itself, and then you're even more peculiar within the people. Be comfortable with who you are. You're not the it yeah, just be comfortable with who you are. You don't have to mimic anybody else to get your point across,
Yes.
because what happened for Susie is not going to be the same for Angela, because
Yeah.
Angela has a whole different line of people who are connected to her. And that doesn't mean that just the people that are connected to me, they may also in a way be connected to Renee. to be able to receive it the way that she teaches the word, and then the way that I share the word. It, as long as Bible based, that's where we're going. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, just be
Yes.
comfortable with your uniqueness.
I had two thoughts and I forgot this for the
I'm
second thought.
sorry.
I forgot the second thought. But when you were talking and when you were saying that being unique, it was a picture that I saw a couple years ago, and it was five young people. And the caption said, I guess they all interpreted the weather wrong,
Ooh.
because if you looked at them, you couldn't tell what season it was,
Oh
because
wow.
some had on shorts, some had on sweatpants. One girl had on a jacket with some pants. One person had on a short skirt with sandals. One person had on boots with jeans. So they was like, everybody is not going to interpret everything the same.
Child, that's a word right there.
And I was like, so it's like we all could be hearing the same thing and seeing the same thing, but we all may not interpret it the same way. And because they were in that picture, the person said you would have to actually talk to each and every one of them to find out what did they really interpret that the weather would be, because all of them were dressed different.
But guess what? That's because all of them are in different seasons in their life.
Yes.
They're in the same room, but they're all in different seasons in their life.
Yes, that's
And
it.
that's okay. That's
Yes.
okay. Child,
Yes.
that is
Yes.
a good
Yes.
one.
Yes. I was
Yes,
just trying
I
to think
saw
of
that and only thought of fashion. And baby, that there is a word. Right. Yes, it is. Yeah. We're
yeah.
all, we that right there just says, yeah, we all in the same room, but we're all in different seasons in our life.
Yes.
And yeah, we can't yeah, that
Yeah.
was a good one.
Yeah. I saw that. I was like, wow. But also you said growth.
Hmm.
And when you said it, you gave the definition.
Hmm.
Because it says the act or process or a manner of growing, developing, but it says gradual increase.
Yes.
When you said it, like it is growth is gradual, and it's
Right.
okay. It's okay.
Yeah. 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 I think that and I myself have been guilty of that as well, of because the growth is not happening at the speed that I wanted to, that I
Yes.
get frustrated and just be like, just forget it. Or but it's a gradual thing. You have to be consistent with it, because if you want something to stick,
Hmm.
you want to continue, you want to not miss any steps in doing it,
Yes.
then you need to be consistent.
That's it right there.
You need to
Yeah.
be consistent. But there was something I had thought about on the way to work this morning. And it was saying it, I thought about it and I was like, yeah, we need to be careful to not being so busy. And we're doing a new class, where I'm in this group, I'm in that group, I'm doing this, I'm doing that,
Hmm.
that we're not taking the time to enjoy where we are today, right? And we're missing it. You're
Hmm.
missing it. You're
Yeah.
missing the opportunities, and not just the opportunities on the outside, but the opportunities on the inside.
Yes. Yeah.
You're missing it. It's what? Stop and smell the roses. Well,
Hmm.
stop and appreciate who you are. Stop and congratulate yourself for the accomplishment that you just made.
Yeah.
Stop and be content with where you are. And because we frustrate ourselves so much, because I'm not as I'm 51 and this person is 45 and they have more than I have. So on the outside that you can see, you don't know what's going on in their head or their heart, because that's really where it starts.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. That right there. In the words of my aunt, that part.
That part. Oh
Yeah,
my goodness,
it's
yes.
just it's important, and knowing you are, it does require growth.
Mhm.
It requires much prayer. Because so many people are lost today because they do not know who they are, or they're looking for somebody to tell them who they are.
Mhm.
Pastor said it last week in Bible study, and I was cracking up, but it was so true. He said so many people come to him and say, "Do you know what God want me to do? Um, did God tell you what He want me to do?" He said, "No, you need to go pray. You don't know, and I don't know either."
Right,
You
right,
know,
right.
so it's like when he said it, I'm like, it's true. We
Yeah.
always sometimes we look for other people to tell us who we are, and you can tell me, Renee, you are a motivational speaker. And I'm listening to what you told me. Like, well, Angie told me that I'm a motivational speaker. So that's who I am,
Must be true.
and I get out there and people like,
She ain't got nothing to say.
what are you talking about? Like, what's wrong
Right,
with you?
right.
So it's important for for us to let God confirm where we're supposed to be, who we are, and what direction we should be going in.
Amen. Amen. Indeed.
Yes, it is.
I'd agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mika.
Yes.
That's because it's coming from the heart.
Yeah.
Coming from the heart.
You so silly. You are so silly. Um, so I think that's it for me. You have anything else?
um, I do. I will say this too. Okay, and then I think I might be done after I say this. That we have to release unforgiveness. We have to release the things of the feelings of guilt and shame,
Mm-hmm.
right? And because when we continue to hold on to that, then that will stop us from walking into who we really are.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those are the layers that we have to peel back to find out, for us to be um I don't know that I want to use the word exposed, but for us to be, I don't know, here. Right? Because it's in there, it's under there. It's just like when you peeling an orange, or you're breaking the nut, or you're breaking the shell of a nut, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have a peanut and it's protected, it has this shell on it. But to get to the peanut, you gotta what? Break the shell and open it.
Mm-hmm.
Break the shell and open it. And so that
Okay.
you can become who you are. That guilt and that shame, it'll have you acting like a nut, but we need to let go of that. You can't
Yes.
hold on to that, to guilt, to shame, unforgiveness, because it will stunt your growth in who it is that you are.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Well, is it an Angie moment or inspiring moment to close us out today?
I don't know, but you can go.
Okay.
You got it, dude.
My inspiring moment, um, I think I posted it this week, but I'll say it again. Whenever you see runners and you see people preparing for a race, like my cousin is she runs, and she has that mindset, I'm going to win. And at first I was like, that's a little arrogant. But she was like, no, I'm going to win. Like,
Right.
I trained, I'm going to win. I've never heard her say when she was training, oh, I'm just training, I may lose. And that's how
Right.
we have to be in life, not arrogant, but confident, and know that I have prepared, I have studied, God has called me, God has given me the vision, God has given me the purpose. I am going to win.
Amen.
Because if we allow our thoughts to overpower us and defeat us, that's going to come out in our life. We're going to live a defeated life.
Amen.
So we have to have that mindset every day. I am going to win. I am going to conquer this. I can conquer this through Christ. So
Amen.
our mindset, and don't allow your thought, don't be defeated by your thoughts.
Amen. I love it. I absolutely love it. Who's in charge? All right. This has been wonderful, Miss Renee. I have enjoyed you tonight.
Yes, I had a good time tonight too. Thank you, Shauna, Tamiko, Patrice for tuning in, and Sabrina for tuning
Yes.
in. We appreciate you all. If you're
Mhm.
watching a replay on YouTube or Facebook, like, share, and subscribe.
Hello. Yes, yes, yes. So we love you and we will see you next week.
I think.
Yeah. We'll be back next week.
Yeah.
Ah, we'll be here
7 o'clock.
on the dot. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.